Thank you, John, for the song. I remember that song. When I first heard it, I was crossing the Skyway Bridge. As I headed towards St. Petersburg, across the Skyway Bridge, there's a section that's a little bit of an island. The road goes through it and it goes over another little bridge. But as you go over the big part, there's a place to pull off to the side. And I pulled off to the side and I was weeping like a baby when I first heard that. What's happening today is these things have disappeared. The Pope has disappeared. Oh. Got to get rid of them. Just not hip if you listen to that old stuff. Most of the songs in that book, or the book that's in your pew, most of the songs were written in the late 1800s, sometimes some of them the early 1300s. It's up in the left-hand corner of each song, and you can see just about every one of them. They're old. And you can't expect old people like us, see, here's the way it's going to be. Now, Carol's pretty young yet. And Liz, and Sierra, and Megan, and Brian. But Denny, Dennis, Lee, Bev, Deb, Mary Linda, and myself will soon be gone. We'll just be a memory of somebody's head. You see, can't run the race anymore, so where are people today? The few people that come, where are they? What is so important that they're not here? What's the most important thing? I have a friend whose 3 siblings do their best to keep that friend out of church. Last weekend, the weekend before, this weekend, and next weekend, out of church. Do the best to keep their parent out of church. And then there's the parents who do their best to keep their kids out of church. Now, I know here we have very little to offer for the age group of Sierra and Elizabeth. Very little to offer them. Now, I can offer the Word of God. I can do that. But I'm telling you, it's disappearing rapidly. If you don't think so, go to LCB, whatever it is, where Saturn used to be. This stuff, even this, can't happen kneeling rail, might resemble something old. Oh, I didn't wear my suspenders today, and my britches want to slip down.
I've been there. I don't like that church.
The churches that are exploding are the ones who have done away with Pope, done away with communion table, and they've done away with this. Pardon me. This is not decadence. I'm not trying to press anybody that I have a card. But somehow, my pics have disappeared. It's not in there. And so we start out, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Somebody get one of the songbooks and check when John Newton wrote that song. You will not hear it in a modern church today. This there's somewhere, Maggie. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Saved a wretch like, I'm not a wretch. Carol, are you a wretch?
I thought it was by the old rugged cross.
No, it's not the old rugged
I
cross.
thought it was by the old rugged cross.
By the old rugged cross. Next to it, you mean?
Yes.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
1725.
Oh my goodness.
1907.
1725. Oh my goodness. That's as old as America. Wasn't America 1717?
18.
It was 1876.
1776.
It's 240. But
1776.
1700s, you expect us to sit in a church building and listen to somebody sing a song that was written in 1776? Well, we got to do away with that.
It's a classic.
I've looked at that down through the years. We sing that in Kenya. We sing that in the U.S. And I've referred to it as the national anthem of the church, no matter where you go. The man was a slave trader. John Newton was a slave trader. He operated a slave ship that took people from Zanzibar who were rounded up by their own people from other groups or tribes and took them to Europe and brought them to the U.S. If you go to the Bahamas or Jamaica, you will hear, no problem, man. Now if you go to Kenya, you'll hear Kuma Matai. No problem. There wouldn't be the population in Jamaica and in Bahamas. When I go there, I feel like I'm in Africa. Because, see, the French went to Zanzibar and got people, human beings, and called it trafficking. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to my fear relieved, thou precious, that grace appeared, the hour of Sierra and Elizabeth. Soon, this will disappear. Soon, you will be searching the radio if you want to hear it again. Some like WTAC are all right. They still play some of the old ones. WJTL, they moved on out. And then, just have to put that in there. Yeah, yeah. It's disappearing, people. You wonder why there's only a few of us in here today? Because you got an old preacher. You got an old building. You don't have the pow, pow, pow. You don't have that. You don't have that here. And I couldn't do it if I wanted to. I don't know how to.
1674.
But the three in the back there, and the two here, are the three in the back there, and the two here, and the two here will soon be gone. And if you don't believe that, you're dumb for 2 bags of cut hair. We look at our lesson today about running. In Hebrews. Oh, do away with that. Too antiquish. Too antiquish. We got to do away with this stuff because we just, oh man. We expect people to come in here. We expect them to knock the doors down. They don't want to come into an old building like this, the average person. The only ones that are going to come into this building, an old building like this, are folks that look like being dentists. With old white beards. This is a new thing. That's it. I have a Bible at home. I picked it up, and I'm telling you, it hurt my fingers. It's so big. You might be able to put that one in your pocket, but you're antiquated. You're old. That's old.
This is always gonna be.
But it's old. It's old. How you get people? A person said to me some time ago just about, well, the day that we tried to show film, first Sunday back from Africa, the person said to me afterwards, how can we get people to come to church? It's how you get people to come to church is, Elizabeth came to me last evening and said, can we go pick up Sierra and bring her along to church? That's how we get people to church. You bring them. The song, oh, it's an old song. Bring them in. Bring them in. That's an old song. I don't even know if it's in our Baptist hymnal. Bring them in. From the world of. Pastor, you mean this, the world is sinful? Yeah, buddy. Now, if we get rid of all this stuff, then people might want to come in.
It's in here.
It's in there? When's that been written?
1841.
There you go. It's old stuff. You expect people to listen to old stuff? The millennials, did I say that right?
The millennials.
Millennials, that stuff's old and antiquated. They don't want anything to do with that, and our churches are dying. Main churches are dying. Not only here, but in Europe. One of my grandsons, as most of you know, Bryce, has entered the ministry. 3 years ago, he was in Germany. He said, Pap, there's the most beautiful cathedrals you ever want to see. Beautiful. A handful of people. And they all have white hair. They're all like a snowflakes. Last year, he spent the whole summer preaching and teaching and learning, studying in Ireland. What a trip! What a trip to be in Ireland. But he's sharing the gospel. When they were in Germany, a man asked him on the street, asked him to pray for him because his arm was crooked, his left arm. He couldn't straighten it out. And Bryce went over, and the other guys are with him, and a girl or two in their group, and they laid hands on the man on his arm and on his shoulders. And moments later, with ding, his arm was out, and he could use it. Now, some people say, "Oh, I should put it on an act." Well, you can put on an act all you want to, but I'm telling you, I serve a risen Savior in this world today, and He's a healer. He's a healer. Bring them in from the fields of sin. Bring them in from Hollywood. Bring them in. Hey, you can go to the beach. Guess what? They have churches at the beach. You can go to the mountains. Guess what? They have churches in the mountains. But, hey, I'm going on vacation. I want to get away from all that stuff. Well, I'm telling you what, if you get away from all that stuff, that means you're dropping down from serving the Lord. Don't mean you can't miss a service now and then. But what I mean, if it's not your desire. We had a fiasco at home this morning. Quinny couldn't, he has a pair of red sneakers, and he couldn't find one. We upset chairs, we turned everything over and just all around looking for that one sneaker. We can't find it. I said, so well, put your other ones on. He said, I don't want to be seen in public with these things. Now he's 8 years old. I said, well, you can come to church barefooted. Well, I can't go to church barefooted. At 8 years old, he knew that you don't come in barefooted.
I did.
You're barefooted?
Years ago.
Oh, okay. So that he knew. All right? Somebody read Hebrew 12, 1 through 4.
Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your own blood.
There you go. That's old stuff. That's old stuff. Why does, why would anybody want to pay attention to that? It's easy to give up. Now, I'm telling you, I don't know if I can do this. I can't run a race with them. I might be able to run a race with what Brian has on, but not very far, because I'd flip-flop right out of it. Maybe Carol, she's got, oh my God, Carol, you got your toes showing. Oh my. As I told you before, I remember the big argument between Mom and Dad when somebody bought Mom a pair of shoes and just the toes showed. What a horrible thing that was. See, God has made a plan for us. He's got a plan for us.
Amen.
Now, those of you in here, you may not know the joy unspeakable in full glory. The Apostle Paul said about the joy unspeakable in full glory. when we look at it and we think, Israel's coming, he attacked, he captured. Hallelujah. When we think about that, and I go to King James, I have a King James here somewhere, Dennis. Oh, it's there. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I got it. Okay, there it is. King James. Oh, there it is. Wow. Huh. Then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel bowed unto the Lord and said, if it be thy will, indeed, deliver this people into my hand. Paul said in 2 Timothy 4, 7, 8. Anybody know what Paul said in 2 Timothy 4, 7 and 8? It's a sporting event. Paul talked about sports.
I have fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me.
I fought the fight. And what?
Won the race.
And won the race. Boys and girls, let me tell you what's going to happen. If you drop out of the race, you're not going to make it. If you drop out of the race. God told us in 11:40. Somebody back up to 11:40 of Hebrews. Oh, way to go, man. I got numbers. I don't want numbers. Where'd that come from? See, there you go. You see, you need the young guys to be able to handle this. It takes an old guy like me, and then pretty soon I'll have to have Elizabeth come up here and help me.
God had planned something better for us so that only together with us would they be made perfect.
God has planned something for us. And it's what? Better.
Yeah.
Now I have Hebrews 12. What? Let us lay aside every weight and sin. Somebody said to me one time, said, Pastor, is a sin to smoke? And I said, why'd you ask? Apparently it's in your mind. Why'd you ask? And that person, he was in Florida, anybody knows here. Not even Megan. Megan was about 2 then. Maybe 1.5. And I said, you know what? That little white God you put to your lips more than you do your wife. But why'd you ask? Well, people tell me it is. I don't think it's just a sin to smoke. I think it's a bad habit. Your breath stinks, your clothes stink. I never dated a girl who smoked. So it's like kissing an ashtray.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
And that's just the way I felt about it when I was growing up, younger. And so I said, why'd you ask? Again, asking, why did you ask? Well, I just thought maybe it's not a good witness. Randy went with us, I don't know how many times to Kenya, what, 7, 8 times? And just recently, they said to me, they can understand that a missionary would come to the country to share God's word who smoked. Lay aside every weight of sin. It might be porn. It might be gambling. They're making gambling really easy now. You can go online and gamble.
You
You
gotta
can
be
get-
able to gamble in rudders.
You can, and rudders, you can gamble. And you can get drunk in rudders too.
You can't open it though, but you can.
Or you can't open it. Oh, God bless them. They've really got something sharp going on. They'll sell you the booze, but you can't open it on the property. Wow. There's a bringer. And let us run with practice, with patience. The King James says with patience. The race that is set before us. Look unto Jesus, the author and finisher of faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. From Bethlehem to Jerusalem. From Jerusalem to the cross. From the cross to the grave. And it didn't stop there.
Amen.
I serve a risen Savior. He's in the world today. That's going to disappear too. More than likely, you might even hear in some of the hip hop churches, here come Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bonny trail, hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. You got an orchid for your mommy, call her eggs for Elizabeth. Who knows what you're going to hear? I don't know, but I know this, we got to lay it aside. You cannot stop.
Amen.
Let me tell you how close I am. How close I am to call my sister and having her put the sign out front. I'm waiting for a response. Yeah, buddy. Let's do it. Go on now. 2 no's, 3 no's. We cannot stop running. I agree that I'm getting weird. There's a song. I believe my steps are growing wearier each day. Still I've got a journey on my mind. I have a journey on my mind. And that journey is to continue the race for the finish line. You see this thing for Jesus, this thing for salvation, and the final is not a sprint. When I was in high school, I ran sprint. No offense on anybody, but they said, you really run fast for a white boy. They told Troy the same thing when he was in Florida. We beat everybody on the team. I beat everybody on the team, and he beat everybody on the team. But guess what? I was probably 45, 60 pounds lighter, maybe more. And I practiced. Just over the hill, Friesville, PA, used to be a crease in the map. That's it. Now they got a light. We had a lane just about as long as it is where we are right now. Of course, there was no hill. And I would run out to the bus stop, get off, run back to the bus, back home to the house from the bus stop. We'd run. My brother and I'd run. If we wanted to be the fastest on the team, if we wanted to win the prize, we had to run. We got to lay aside anything that might keep you from worship. And it might be your work. It might be your work. You telling me to quit working? No, I'm not telling you to quit working. But your work could be keeping you from serving the Lord. My next trip to Africa, I'd take Carol with me. I'd take Bev with me. Dad would go in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
She's ready now.
I don't know about Danny, this dentist. But the other dentist back there will go in a heartbeat. He's not sure of his heart and how it's going to be. But if you drop dead there, look at it this way. You don't sit like this in the airplane with some jerk in front of you that seats back in your face.
Probably trying to eat.
When you're trying to eat, you'd have a nice big box down where it's nice and cool and not hot. Down in underneath where you keep the luggage. And I told Megan and Trent that if that happens to me, you make sure they give me a pillow. When they put me in the box, put me in the airplane. You see, Megan, share how happy the people were at our churches.
They were ecstatic. It's hard to describe.
Hard to describe how thankful they are because of this small group.
So take a new grip with your tired hands and strengthen your weak knees. Mark out a straight path for your feet so that those who are weak and lame will not fall but become strong.
All right. Where'd you read that out of?
Hebrews 11 and 12.
11 and 12. Take a good rip. As we pulled out of whatever road it was, the East Prospect Road, there came a motorcycle. There, was a graveyard each side of you. And he's moving along pretty loudly. And Linda said, as I pulled out, don't get too close to him, because he's driving with his hands. Well, I was driving with my hands. Right? I'm taking a grip. I do my best to lay aside things that keep me down. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm still fighting.
Amen.
I'm not stopping to run because I know it's a long distance run.
Yes.
My oldest grandson, just a month ago, completed a 26-mile run. He runs marathon. He runs track. If Adam Liston would walk in here right now, you may take a first glance and you may not recognize him. He's lost so much weight. But he couldn't run the marathon and get the ribbons and the cup that he won with 40 pounds hanging on. He couldn't do it. You're saying I'm fat? I'm not saying anybody's fat. All I'm saying is, whatever it is that would keep you from running the race, and that is the race to the finish line. What's the finish line? The Lord. Hebrews 11:40. He's got something better for us. He's got something better for us. I guess I'll look at my notes and see if I missed anything. Okay, it's a long distance run, not a spirit, not a sprint. When, quickly we'll look at, a look behind you. I look behind me and I see my mom and dad and my grandparents who love the Lord and were always in church. Just because a person's in church don't mean that they're saved. But they lived the faith. They lived what they said.
Amen.
That's my mom and dad and my grandparents and some aunts and uncles. And then I had a couple of uncles who were hell raisers. You can't put it any other way. But I look back, look behind you, and think about those that you've known who have run the race.
Amen.
Megan's going to have first insight with me when I check out. She can say, Dad ran the race. He finished the finish line. And that's fact. Number 2, look around you. What do you see? And that's what Hebrews was talking about. Look around you. Jesus finished the race. Look around you. Look at the people. And the sad part is, even in this small group, we've got some people who told other people, you need to forgive, but they didn't forgive themselves. Oh, ooh, gotta get my toes up before I step on toes. Now, when you step on toes, people don't like that. And that's the reason I go to church. Because if I go to church, somebody might step on my toes. You better believe it. I might step on your toes. And so, we need to look around us and we see people who are faithful. If you come on Wednesday nights, most always you'll find Dennis Lent's vehicle, or Dennis Light's vehicle parked out there first. And then sometimes you'll see the Keener's vehicle parked out there first. I can count on it. Look around you, the people who are faithful, the people who are there, the people who don't miss. Oh, well, we had to stay home because the little one burped in B flat. And then we had to take him to the doctors. So we couldn't make it to church.
You said about stepping on toes. Verse 7 said, as you endure this divine discipline, remember that God is treating you as his own children. Who ever heard of a child who is never disciplined by its father?
Child who's ever... Megan, did I ever discipline you?
Oh my.
The child is disciplined by the father because of love.
Amen.
Now, that's the difference between, there is a difference between abuse and discipline. Some fathers sadly abuse their children. But to look around you and you see other people living for the Lord. Those of you who come here on a regular basis, do you ever give it a thought that maybe Carol won't be here in the morning to play? Never crosses your mind, does it? She's going to be here.
Amen.
No matter what. Even when she works all night.
Yes.
And she sits there, sometimes I think I have a pack of toothpicks up here so I can go back and prop her eyelids open. She worked all night. That works.
I'd be worried if she wasn't here.
Well, there you go. If there's something wrong? And she always calls me if she can't make it. What, twice last year? Maybe twice, maybe 3. Pushing it at 3. She's here. Look around you. These are the people who are faithful. And then number 3, look beyond you. We need to look beyond. We need to look beyond the 16, 17 people that are in here. we need to look to the point that, hey, wow, we got plenty of room for you. Why don't you come along and be with us Sunday morning? You'll be all right now because the preacher removed the pulpit and the communion table. But we're still going to sing Amazing Grace.
Amen.
We're going to sing Rescue the Perishing, Care for the Dying. We're going to sing The Marketplace is Empty, No More Traffic in the Street. All the builder's tools are silent, no more time to harvest wheat. Ha, I love that. So we need to look beyond. Look beyond, think about who can I bring along. Danny, you going down there to the senior center, and I know there's, you'll talk to somebody and say, well, I got my church, and some of them will lie about it. Some of them will let you think they got a church, but they don't have a church. You could get Linda to move over and set a person or two in there. Or maybe you can sit on that side. There's a bunch of pillows over there. Won't be so hard on the gluteus maximus. We need to look beyond. Need to look beyond. And that's all I got to say about today. This is the future.
But that'll never replace God's word.
Amen.
That is God's word. I got 27 different translations in here and paraphrase editions. It's like X-Lax. It'll clean you out. It'll clean you out. So, here we are today, gang. What do you think? You think we keep it running? You think we keep moving?
I think the ones that are here are worth it.
Amen.
Amen.
I like that. Well spoken.
Amen.
Short but sweet.